Welcome to today's deep dive. We have a really special one for you today. We're going to explore a short story. It's called The Train Arrived Exactly at 7:15 a.m.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story. And, our mission today is to really unpack this simple narrative. We want to explore our relationship with time and routine and just that modern habit we all have of constantly rushing.
Right, the constant rushing. And because this story is so reflective, I thought we could try something a little different today.
Uh,
I want us to approach this deep dive with a really calm, deliberate vibe.
I love that idea. Very warm, very emotional.
Exactly. I want you, the listener, to really imagine the scenes. Just savor the words. Think of it almost like settling in for a really fascinating bedtime story.
That sounds perfect. A moment to just slow down and listen.
So let's set the scene.
Yeah.
It's exactly 7:15 in the morning. A woman named Emma boards her regular commuter train. She has a cup of coffee in one hand and this heavy backpack on her shoulder.
Which is such a familiar image, right?
All right, we've all been there. And the train is packed. It's almost completely full of business people, students, tourists, just to see it people.
And the author uses a very specific description right here. It says, everyone looked busy, everyone looked tired.
I mean, that really hits home.
It does. It effectively establishes the baseline of our modern existence, that
Yeah.
shared, quiet exhaustion that we all just accept as normal.
Okay, let's unpack this. So Emma finds a seat next to an old man. He's just quietly reading a newspaper. They exchange a very polite, brief, "Good morning."
Just normal commuter behavior.
Right. The train starts moving in total silence, people just settling into the ride. But then suddenly the lights go out.
The disruption.
Yes, the train just stops. It grinds to a halt. And when they look out the window, they are surrounded by nothing but trees. There is no station. There are no houses in sight. Just the woods.
And those next 5 minutes of darkness feel incredibly long. It's fascinating to look at how the passengers react.
Oh, yeah. Instantly, you hear someone sigh loudly. People immediately, almost instinctively, pull out their phones and check their screens.
Even though a phone won't make the train move.
Exactly. There's even a little boy who asks his smiling mother what's happening, and, well, she just doesn't know. It reminds me of that universal panic we feel when, say, the Wi-Fi suddenly drops at home.
Oh, that sudden spike of stress. Yes.
I mean, why are we so deeply uncomfortable with an unexpected pause? Even if checking the phone won't start the train, why is that our very first instinct?
Well, what's fascinating here is the contrast. You have this sudden physical stillness of the actual train, but inside the train car, you have this extreme internal restlessness from the passengers.
Because their routine was broken.
Right. The modern mind is heavily conditioned to constantly consume. We expect a constant stream of information, so when that external stimulation just stops, we feel trapped.
Trapped with our own impatience.
Exactly. We are forced to sit with our own thoughts, and for a lot of people, that is a very uncomfortable place to be.
Which brings us back to Emma and the old man sitting next to her. Because his reaction is completely different.
He doesn't pull out a phone, does he?
No, not at all. Instead of sighing or checking a device, he actually laughs. Just a quiet, gentle laugh in the dark.
Which is such a surprising reaction in that tense environment.
Emma is certainly surprised. She looks at him, totally confused that he doesn't seem worried. And then he gives her this incredible piece of wisdom.
I love this part.
He says to her, "I've learned something after 70 years. You could spend this moment feeling angry, or you can spend it living."
You can spend it living. That is such a powerful shift in perspective.
It is. But I have to push back on this a little bit,
Sure, go ahead.
because it sounds beautiful. It really does. But in reality, when you are stuck on a train and you're going to be late for a crucial meeting or a class, anger and stress just feel so automatic.
They feel like the only natural response.
Right. Your heart races. You panic. How does someone actually flip the switch in their brain to just, spend it living?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the old man is really highlighting the illusion of control.
The illusion is control.
Yes. The train being stuck is an unchangeable fact. It's reality. Emma can't fix the train. The angry passengers can't fix it either.
They are just stuck.
Right. And the 70-year-old man realizes that all their suffering comes from resisting that reality. Being angry won't start the engine. Peace comes from just accepting the situation.
So it's a conscious choice.
Exactly. It's a choice of framing your own agency. You can't control the train, but you can control where you put your attention.
And he actually shows her how to do that.
Yeah.
This is the pivotal moment of the story. The old man physically turns, points toward the dark window of the train, and he just says, "Look."
Such a simple invitation. Look.
And outside, the morning sunlight is just slowly appearing through the trees. Little birds are flying across the pale sky. There is a light wind moving the leaves.
The world outside is just quietly happening.
Yes, and the old man whispers to her, "It is beautiful." And in that moment, Emma has this deep internal revelation.
Because she usually misses all of this.
Every single day. She usually just stares at her phone. She complains about the traffic. She rushes. She realizes she had never actually noticed the morning before this exact moment when she was literally forced to stop.
She was physically trapped, but mentally, she was finally free to look around.
I think of the window as a literal replacement for her phone screen. For the first time, she is streaming the real world instead of a digital feed.
Streaming the real world. I like that. And this raises an important question for all of us.
What's that?
How much of our actual lives do we sleepwalk through while we are busy rushing? There is a profound difference between simply being awake and actively paying attention.
That's a huge distinction, being awake versus paying attention.
Right. Emma was awake every morning on that train. Her eyes were open, but she wasn't paying attention to her life. She was just waiting for the commute to be over.
Wow. Well, after about 10 minutes of this beautiful pause, the lights return, the train vibrates, and it starts moving again.
Back to the routine.
Instantly. Everyone else immediately returns to their phones. The sighs stop. The screens glow again. But Emma is changed.
She doesn't go back to her screen.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah.
She just keeps looking outside the window, watching the trees. And when they finally reach the station, the old man stands up to leave.
Their paths separate.
Yeah. Emma asks for his name, but he just smiles. He tells her she doesn't need his name, only this lesson. He says, "Life isn't waiting for tomorrow. It's happening while you're busy waiting."
It's happening while you're busy waiting.
So what does this all mean? How does Emma take this brief 10-minute delay and actually apply it to the rest of her life?
That's the real test of the story, isn't it? Bringing it home.
It is. And the author shows us her evening routine. It is filled with these beautiful, slow details. Instead of scrolling on social media, she stands by her window and watches the sunset.
She stays present.
She calls her mother and really listens. She cooks her dinner slowly, appreciating the process. The story says she laughs more.
She's incorporating that deliberate attention into her own home.
Exactly. And before bed, she writes a final entry in her notebook. She writes, "Today wasn't special. I simply paid attention."
I think that quote synthesizes the entire meaning of the story.
How so?
Well, true mindfulness isn't about seeking out spectacular, once-in-a-lifetime events. You don't need a vacation to a tropical island to feel alive.
Right. You don't need to escape your daily life.
No, you don't. It's about bringing a special, deliberate quality of attention to completely ordinary moments.
Like commuting on a train or making dinner.
Exactly. When you pay attention to the smell of the food or the warmth of the sun, you transform a mundane task into something deeply fulfilling. The magic is in the attention.
The magic is in the attention. I love that. And that brings us directly to you, the listener.
We want to challenge you a bit.
We do. Think about your own daily commutes. Think about standing in line at the grocery store or dealing with unexpected delays.
Those moments where you feel like you're just stuck in the waiting room of life.
The next time you are busy waiting, I invite you to try something. Try leaving your phone in your pocket.
Just for a few minutes.
Yeah. Just look out your own proverbial window. Notice the world around you. See what happens when you choose to spend that moment living instead of just waiting for it to be over.
And to leave you with one final lingering concept to ponder today, something that wasn't even covered in the story but builds on it.
What is it?
Well, if our perception of time, whether it passes quickly or slowly, is shaped entirely by our level of attention, then by consciously choosing what we pay attention to, do we essentially possess the superpower to slow down time itself?
Wow, that is definitely something to think about. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, remember to look out the window.